Hi, and welcome to the CAFMA Connect. I'm your host, Fire Chief Scott Freitag, and with me this week, and this is an attempt to improve the ratings from last week because we only had 5s of viewers with Captain Merrill. I'm not sure what happened. I like him. However, Kathy was on one of the very first podcasts, and she held the record for quite some time for a number of views.
Yes, except it was Kathy and Carolyn, and now Carolyn's not here.
True.
True. We'll see.
But I was looking for something that might step up our game because normally we have 10s of viewers, and last week was like 5s of viewers. So it was a drop, Eric. I thought it was good content, but
she's
still number 3.
She's still number 3?
Yeah.
You and Carolyn are still number 3.
Yes.
So, there's a lot of things going on, and I want to point out, because you came in and I pointed out these little gnomes to you that I had found in my office, and they just randomly were moving around. And so I thought, well, I don't know where these came from, but I'm going to bring them to the studio, and we'll see if anybody notices. And I would say, given that our administrative manager was the one who apparently was playing with them and moving them in my office and was distraught that she didn't know where they went, it's clear that she doesn't watch the podcast. She may listen. She may listen.
On her behalf, she may listen.
She may listen. So because we have the different podcast platforms, yes. And so you can listen and you wouldn't then see the gnomes that you were looking for.
No.
But here they are, randomly moving around the studio. If you're on YouTube, you can see them. So Kathy is the genius behind our social media presence. And sometimes people think social media as Facebook, but social media is so much more than Facebook. And social media can be a good tool.
Absolutely.
To help organizations out. Now,
yes.
I will say what social media is not. People thought at one time that if we could get more information out and more connectivity to each other, right, that we would become smarter and better people. And I will have to say that social media has definitely lended itself to the dumbing down of the human experience and people, and allowed folks who shouldn't have platforms to have platforms. I think we're far less educated than we were before from social media. That's my opinion. However...
Wow. I'm really glad I'm here today.
However, it is a great tool for us to get a message out to a lot of folks, understanding that we are going to have the negative comments because of differing opinions, or there are people out there that just like to be contrary. However, this is the use of social media for us, and since you've taken the reins for this organization, our presence has really stepped up. And people know more about us because they do engage in so much social media. So what do you do with this tool? What do you do to make good content for us?
Well, what makes it really easy. So first of all, we have the best community. They really interact with our stuff. They're fun. They like it when we're fun, which makes it really, really nice. Content wise, I get most of it from our employees.
Okay.
It's a small but excellent group that sends me some of that, and I just take it from there and try to think of what I would want to see from a fire department.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and we've had everything on our social media from the ambulance issues that we were able to keep up on, and really it was because of the engagement of our folks in our community that change happened in the state. Without that,
absolutely,
between that and the website, a place that people could go to seek more information, not just from social media, was vitally important. It was a place to point them. But social media is so much more than just Facebook. So what other social media platforms do we use, and how do they interact? We
use Instagram, which is also owned by Facebook. We use Twitter, which is more conversational. So it's not our biggest platform because we don't have someone that's able to converse that often. And then we have YouTube. We have YouTube.
What about TikTok?
We do not have TikTok.
We've been pushing for TikTok.
Who is we?
I don't know. Other people.
Chief Para. Chief Para really wants a TikTok, and he promised that if we got one, he would dance.
Jonah, have you been pushing for TikTok?
What's a TikTok?
Jonah wants,
Like
he's
those
the
things
biggest.
that when your breath stinks, is that what we're
proponent.
talking about?
That's TikTok.
Oh.
TikTok, I don't really understand it. I don't know what it does.
Well, you go viral. That's what Chief Para told me.
You just go viral.
You just go viral.
So we go on we make a TikTok and then we go viral.
Yes. We would essentially do what we're already doing with Instagram, but we would do it on TikTok. And it would be, it's videos.
Okay. And we've had some really
Mostly.
good videos that you've put together. Some, what was it recently? Technical rescue training.
Yes. Technical rescue training was awesome. I think we're at almost 10,500 views on Instagram, which is our biggest, largest so far. It's pretty cool.
That is. I mean, we get like 200 views sometimes on YouTube. Which is better than most. I mean, we're not trying to go viral on this, but we are trying to get a message out to our folks internally and talk to other people. And what we're finding in the fire service is that people are starting to realize, organizations are starting to realize the importance of social media in being able to get their message out to the community directly. Yeah. Whether that message is, hey, there's a major motor vehicle crash on this roadway. Please watch for traffic in the area. Or here's a concern we have with this. Or here's what we do. You know, we pull the curtains back on the fire department. It's not that we pull the curtains shut. It's that we didn't have a good way for us to show the public and even some of our own personnel, here's what we do.
Yes. That's exactly right. I think the biggest thing for social media for an agency like ours is community trust.
Right.
We want them to trust us because we might come on a day when they need to let us do what we need to do.
Right.
We've had code saves, for example. We've had, how many have we had this year? It's been really spectacular. We've had a number of them. Getting that information out to the community, I think, is huge because it might be you that's next. Maybe you're considering whether or not you should call 911 for somebody, and you absolutely should.
Yes.
And we'll be there. You can trust that we're going to be there.
Right.
And you can trust that we're going to bring you back.
Well, and I think that's important because it also drives home the importance of community-based CPR training and programs. Yeah. So if you're a bystander and see somebody who collapses in cardiac arrest, calling 911 is great, but being able to start that early CPR, the early compressions, gives that person a better chance of survival. And I think in most cases where we've had more saves, there's been bystanders who have participated in advance of our arrival.
Yes. And we have CPR classes, by the way, open to the public. Go to our website.
We do.
CAZFire.
CAZFire.org. Currently. Correct, Jonah? CAZFire.org still?
Yeah, you got to stop asking me that question. You're going to start confusing everybody.
Gotcha. CAZFire.org. You can look up CPR classes, babysitting classes as well.
Yep, in the summertime.
Right.
So check next summer.
And how old do you have to be to take a babysitting class? Do you know? Because I don't know.
I would have to check the website. I think it's, I want to say 12.
12, okay. But the information, as with most of our information, is on the website. And I was talking to someone the other day who's going to be a new board member for us, and she said, it's amazing that I can go to the website, and this is a shout out to Jonah and to you, and the others, and Michael who works on the website, and she said it is so easy to find things. It's very transparent. Budgets, core values, strategic planning, you name it, it's on the website. Audits, very easy to find what you're looking for with us, which is good.
Yeah, that's the point.
It is. So how do the different social media platforms, how do they connect to each other? How do they work? Because I know sometimes you'll say, well, I scheduled a post for, and I think, oh, she scheduled a post for Facebook, but then it shows up on Instagram and other places.
You can schedule everywhere.
Okay.
And there are actually additional programs that you can get that will help you schedule all at one time if you wanted.
Right.
Several of those, actually. I don't like to do that. I like to be in control of what's going on.
Really?
Well,
shocking.
No. Because I never want there to be a situation where something horrible has happened that's made national news, and we have put up something that is somehow related to it in just a way that I scheduled a post that was somehow related to it, and it seems to be in bad taste after something like that.
Right.
So I'm very, very careful. I don't like to schedule out too far, or even when I'm unavailable, to check that it went off okay, and I proofread like crazy. So Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to do them sort of separately, keep them in their buckets. And the content is different as well because, as I said, Twitter is conversational. You're not going to put the same thing on Twitter that you're going to put on Facebook.
Right.
So you have to change the message, adapt the message to the platform.
So as a tool for fire departments, what are some of your recommendations besides, hey, if you're not using this, you should be. But what is some of your recommendations for, well, how do you use it? How do you employ social media to get information out?
Well, that's an excellent question. Thank you so much for asking me that.
You're welcome.
It really depends on who your audience is, what your content is. Videos tend to do better for us on Instagram than they do on Facebook.
Right. Okay.
So the likelihood is I'm probably going to make a video for Instagram if I have content that lends itself to a video.
Right.
And I'm probably gonna write more on Facebook, right? For content purposes, I use a free tool online to create most of it. It's called Canva, Canva.
Okay.
It's free. You can buy it too, but we haven't gotten to that level yet.
Understood.
So that's my biggest recommendation. I don't really use a lot of tools. I just use what I have.
And part of it that's important for our personnel out there who we requested on numerous occasions, send us content.
For the love of all that's holy, please send me. Video is better.
Send video. Send pictures. Make sure they're appropriate, Chief Naminsky. So that we have something to put out because the community does appreciate the updates. If we have crews off district on wildland fires and we're able to give them an update about what our crew's doing and showing them some of the work that they do,
absolutely,
is vitally important.
Well, it's not just the crews, though. What is the warehouse doing this week? Because, oh my gosh, they do the coolest stuff. What is IT doing? I would love some IT content, Jonah.
IT content.
When you go up on one of those mountains to fix something, could you send me? Me some.
Sure.
Some videos and pictures. Within 2 days, we had a lightning strike on the Glassford Hill Tower site and a lightning strike at 58. How cool would it be? Within the realm of cybersecurity and securing our facilities, to say, here's what lightning does to emergency 911 communications equipment.
But more importantly,
I actually have the moment of the strike from Glassford with audio.
You do?
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of this actual strike because it killed the camera that was looking that direction. But I do have another camera, and it sounds like a bomb goes off. It's pretty crazy.
Oh. We need that.
Or I'll catch you after.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is more importantly than that is what did IT do to fix it in record time so that our community didn't suffer?
I think we need to get Dave a dash cam because if we had dash cam footage of him going up Glassford at that moment, it would be priceless.
Absolutely. And that was amazing. I mean, from the time of the lightning strike until we were on the backup, until the system was actually repaired, was less than 24 hours.
I know, which is incredible. And nobody knows that you guys did that.
I put it out.
Well, I mean, okay.
Somebody would have to read what I put out, but
I think that what you wrote was actually more confusing than the real explanation.
No.
No, I explained it in proper technical terms.
Not layman's terms.
No,
like IT terms.
Technical, yeah, IT terms. Yeah. I created a lexicon.
No.
But
yes, I have put up things on our social media that I thought was ridiculous. We would never get anything off of this. I just needed something. This is different. Let me try it. And people they just love anything. And they're very supportive. And I think that's
seeing
awesome.
Families visiting the fire stations gives it that personal touch. Yeah. Or I know someone sent you a picture recently of their puppy visiting the fire station and sitting on the front bumper, and we got a lot of positive feedback on that.
Yeah,
anything with an animal in it is
especially
awesome.
If we're rescuing it. If you guys could rescue more animals and send me pictures.
So I have to tell you this story just real quick. I was with City of St. Charles Fire Department at the time. This was years ago. I was the public information officer as well as being a company officer on the engine, and we had an ox. Because there are a lot of reenactments in Missouri on the riverfront where Lewis and Clark started their expedition. And so a lot of revival type of stuff. And there were these two oxes, Chip and Dale. And one of them fell down into a slough. And so we were out trying to rescue an ox, and it was amazing. There were people down there, reenactors and firefighters and other people all there. It was the coolest thing. So I put it out to the media. We actually, at that time, made it to national news for that.
Yeah.
And the community relations person for the city came up to me and was just ticked off. Why would somebody tell the media about this? This makes us look bad. And I looked at him and I said, take a look at what's happening here. Mm-hmm. Look at the community rallying around to try to save this ox out of the slough.
Yeah.
And we had our mechanics truck there that had a crane on it, and that's how we helped get him back up with all this technical rescue equipment. And then we put him on the mechanics truck and took him to our Station 2. Eventually he was transferred to University of Missouri-Columbia, where he succumbed to his injuries at the big vet hospital. But the whole thing really showed community coming together.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so important. And when he saw all the positive coverage we got for it, he's like, okay, I get it. I'm like, aren't you the professional?
Yeah, I don't have one of those community relations people watching me. So.
No, we are. We would like to have a community relations position at some point that focuses on these things. But we communicate a lot about the content that we're putting out on social media, because some things can cause some controversy. And as difficult as it is to put information out, the fact of the matter is we need to inform the public. And, you know, everybody's aware of the ambulance things that we put out there and the story and the content. Yeah. And again, that made a difference. It helped us pass legislation. It helped us get a second company up here. There's a lot of things that it did. And while some may have been concerned about our methods or message, the fact is, here's the facts. You don't have to like the facts, but these are the facts. So that made a difference. We just put up our first informational post.
Absolutely.
For Prop 310. Yeah. And we're not going to get into a lot of details here on that, but it was an informative post. And Prop 310 does relate to funding for fire districts in the state, of which we are too. And so you crafted something that was just, hey, you're going to see this on the ballot.
Yep.
Here's some of the basic information. And here's where you can go to the Secretary of State's website for more.
Yes, a neutral, unbiased source.
Right. And we're working to craft another one now to answer some of the questions that were posed, because the reaction, the shares, overwhelmingly positive.
Incredibly positive.
For the post. But some of the comments were overwhelmingly negative.
Right. Or they had questions.
Yeah.
Valid questions.
And some that were just folks taking shots at us for having that out there. We didn't respond to that because we're not engaging. If you want to vote no, vote no. That's on you. If you want to vote yes, vote yes. We're just, here's the information, make your decision. But people who had questions, we engaged and tried to answer.
Yes.
Unfortunately, on social media, people want quick snippets.
It's hard.
The problem is
it's hard.
To answer what seems like a very basic question can take a little time and be a little more complicated. And
yes.
You can accuse me, rightfully so, of using a lot of words. However, to answer some of these questions, it takes
It does.
a lot of
and
words.
Working in admin, as I do, a lot of people they move in from out of state.
Right.
Special taxing districts like we are is not something that they have in their state. They've never even heard of it. They don't even know we exist or why we exist. And so that actually lends itself a lot to explaining Prop 310 and that we're not a municipal fire department.
Right.
We're very different.
No, we're a completely different agency. And
the way we are funded is very different. And that is why you see Prop 310.
Absolutely. And so we're going to put out another post, which I always hate doing that only because I prefer to keep everything where people are engaging in a more positive fashion as much as possible. But the fact of the matter is, it's our job to answer questions that were posed. And so our next post is really that. Here's an explanation of
a little bit more detail and again, directing them to the bill language.
Right.
And bill language, measure language, and and all that,
Right.
so that they can do their research and decide for themselves.
Right. And if we can answer questions, certainly we want to be there to do that. And social media is a platform that we can use to answer those questions and inform. But what we can't do is use those platforms or any other platform that are taxpayer funded to promote Prop 310
Right.
and ask people to vote a certain way. I'm not even going to say a certain way on here other than a certain way.
Sure.
So I think we're doing that. I also know that when we make this other post live, answering some questions, some of those that were very angry and expressed that on the first post are going to express the same
Sure.
again.
Well, and the thing is, we welcome that. A huge part of social media is the conversation,
Right.
the back and forth and opinions. And I have always advocated for us being very transparent.
Sure.
We don't delete comments. We don't
Nope.
try not to edit anything we do, so that what you see is what you get. And yeah, well, feel free to comment on our post. Please comment on our posts. That's absolutely fine. Just keep it civil, keep it clean, and then I won't have to come in and
Right.
say, please don't do that.
Well, and I think the other part of that is the engagement where somebody asks questions, ask real questions, not just complaining, but asking it with some ideology that is not at all accurate, but we know it's not worth trying to explain it because that's not what that person's looking for. When people ask specific questions, we know, hey, look, if this person asks, there's going to be more people who want to know. And so this is a way for us to say, okay, let's craft a message where we answer these specific questions.
Yes.
And point them back. It's just tough because it's a lot of words. And I will say, I didn't draft it. You drafted it. There's a lot of words in there, Kathy.
It's a lot of detail, but based off of the comments that we received on the previous post.
Well, and I think that what we put out is very informative if people take time to read it. Understanding we're going to have people who just don't like anything and are negative to make comments. And they're out there. It's social media. That's what happens.
Yeah. We don't take that personally.
No, I just don't read them.
Well, yeah, you don't read them.
I don't read them.
Okay, I don't take them personally.
Right. Well, and I think part of that is I've worked, I started with a municipal agency, so I understand municipal funding. I've worked with fire district funding now between Missouri and Arizona for the last 17 years, almost 18 years.
Such a long time.
It is. I'm old. So 18 years, and I understand district funding pretty well.
Yeah.
I should at this point. Anyways, at least
I'd be
in my
worried if
position.
you didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get frustrated when I see that and think, how do you not know? When the reality is I'm immersed in this every single day and the community is not.
And they don't teach it in school, Chief.
No, they don't. They should.
Teach fire district funding in school.
You know,
Can you imagine?
One of the things that helps me when I go out and speak publicly about funding, when I get to that slide in any presentation, is I walk up behind the podium, because normally I just walk around.
Right.
And I say, this next topic discusses, we're going to take a look at fire district funding. And then I duck behind the podium and I'm like, but I'm going to stay down here because I know anytime anybody brings up the word tax, people are going to be upset because that's how folks feel. And then that makes people laugh. It puts them at ease. So even folks that are completely anti any type of tax are actually at that point willing to listen to what I have to say, because I didn't come out and say, listen, you just deal with it. It's not the approach.
There's a lot to it. Here
it is. And a lot of those folks, when they understand the funding mechanisms that we have or don't have, when we say funding mechanisms, it's the funding mechanisms, plural, that we don't have, and the funding mechanism, singular, that we do have. Yeah. And that's challenging. So, and in a later podcast, we'll talk more about fire district funding and the FDAT, because of the Fire Department Assistance Tax, that there's a lot of questions on that, confusion. But I think overall for us, since you've taken over our social media presence, it's really stepped up. And even with recruiting this time, we went a different route where we learned after the last recruitment that, wow, Kathy and Jonah weren't very happy that they started behind the 8 ball because we didn't tell them anything up front about this.
No,
and
I found out the day we were launching, I think. Or yeah, it was tough.
I didn't even understand what search engine optimization was.
Oh, Chief.
I had no clue.
And I will take this moment to clarify something. We are still having issues with Bing and Yahoo, so they are not responding to my emails or requests. And
Bing.
so we don't currently exist on Bing. Not that anyone uses Bing, but
I didn't know Yahoo was still around.
yeah, they actually just use Bing. Yahoo
Okay.
and Bing are the same thing.
Gotcha.
Google's fine, but I'm fighting them. They've removed us for some reason, and they don't like me or something. They won't respond to my emails.
Bing did?
Bing, yes.
Is Bing Microsoft?
Yes.
Well, there's the problem. It's Bill Gates.
Oh my goodness.
You do know he doesn't work for them
Oh my
anymore, right?
I don't care. It's legacy. There's the
So
issue.
if you're looking for us on Bing and you type in our name, you can get to our website from like the pictures that come up on the side, but
Right.
our URL will not exist.
Listen, Microsoft, you're not going to hold us hostage. Let's just be clear. You're not
Do I
taking
need to write a
CAFMA over.
post?
Possibly.
Do I need to create some content?
Let's create some content regarding Microsoft and Bing.
I'll do it.
I know you will. You'll take the shot. It'll be good too. No, we do want, and as we close this episode out, which has been a lot of fun, we do want to remind our folks internally, take pictures, take appropriate video, and send it to Kathy. And
Please.
to your point with Instagram, it's kind of fun. I have an Instagram account. It has nothing to do with the fire department. It's mainly Jeep post or that stupid Ford. We'll just say stupid Ford I was working on. And, you get a few comments here and there about the project. But when I posted a video of that thing backing up, I had all kinds of people like, oh, that's awesome. Like, okay, so for Instagram, if I want people to look at the content I'm putting out, then I need to video around the things I did on the Jeep, not just put a still photo up and explain.
Yeah.
This is a steering shaft that we cut apart and made it.
We have very short attention spans these days, and we just need you to get to it
We do.
quicker. Don't
use words.
I don't need to be swiping. Can you just give me a video?
I'll have to do that. Maybe I'll try that this weekend.
And I also want to say thank you to the people that do send me content, and you know who you are. I'm not allowed to say all of your names, but because you don't want me to, not because Chief won't let me.
It's true.
Just to be clear.
I don't care. I don't even
My
know
bad.
who you are, some of you.
Oh yeah. No, they have to remain anonymous so that nobody avoids them because they think they're sending me content. Right. Some people don't want to be on there, but I'm very thankful for you guys. You're honestly what keeps everything going.
And
Not me, you guys.
I think here's the deal with firefighters, and this was Chief Polachek when Chief Polachek was here, our ops chief, and he said we don't need to promote the things that we do because what we're doing is just our job. And I said, I understand that, but what is ordinary to us is
Absolutely.
extraordinary to the community. And we talked some about some of the code saves that we've had. That's extraordinary to the community. And in reality, you don't get that many of those in your career. So it's really extraordinary to us as well. It makes us feel good about what we've done. But the community needs to know who we are and what we're doing. And the more information we can put out and get to them and show them what it is that their tax dollars are paying for, I think the better off we are.
I just keep going back to trust.
Right.
We need them to trust us, and we need to trust them. And I think the more they see us as real human beings, right, doing normal human things, it's going really well. And I'm very thankful for all of our followers that engage.
Yes,
I have had great fun with you guys over the time. Great comments and back and forth. So
there's a lot of good information out there between social media and our website, www.czfire.org. There's a lot of information you can find out about CAFMA, a lot of different ways to engage.
Mm-hmm.
So we invite you to find us on social media, to find us on the internet, to find us on YouTube, CAFMA Connect.
Subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yes.
We appreciate anybody that watches this week.
Yes.
Eric will try again another time and see if we can get something better.
He's the best.
He
Y'all
is.
should go back and watch his. Because his was really good.
His was good.
It was
Maybe
excellent.
next time we should use his face in some scary clown looking thing like we did Nick's.
But also don't do that to me because I also have access to. I'm not saying, but you know. I know what I can do. I know what you can do.
I would never do that.
Let's be nice. Okay.
I would never do that.
We need tech on our social media to play nice together.
We're very friendly.
Yes.
Please don't make me a scary clown.
Okay, you guys need to understand the difference between a clown and Uncle Sam.
No, I know it's Uncle Sam.
I know
but
it's Uncle
everybody
Sam.
else thought it was a clown.
It's just Nick's facial expression made it look like a scary clown.
Oh, bless his heart.
Well, at least I took the knife out because he was holding
True.
a knife in the picture. So.
Yes. He carving a pumpkin. Carving a pumpkin. He likes to carve pumpkins.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's one of his pastimes.
He was holding a knife.
Well, yeah. But we got rid of the one where he was holding his tool for SWAT, which would be a rifle.
Oh, well,
We didn't
but
think
Uncle
that's
Sam and a rifle
it goes together, but
historically makes sense.
the facial expression on that one wouldn't have had the same impact. It's clickbait.
No, it was definitely, and it worked wonders.
Right.
It really did.
The comments on the Facebook feed
Yeah.
were gold.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They were.
Yeah. And even his wife said, I can't unsee this.
I cannot.
I want to divorce this picture.
I almost reached out to her to say, that was not me. I just want you to know, that was Jonah. Because I was like, ooh, it's social media. She might think it's me.
Well, I saw Nick the other day and he's like, I thought you were going to change that. I'm like, you approved it. So you said, no, it's fine. So I left it.
Well, Jen, that was Jonah, not me.
I mean, I helped.
And Chief.
I did pull the picture. I mean, I want to take some credit for that too, because it was funny.
It worked.
But Jonah's the one. He's the clip art genius or the clip.
The thumbnails
thingy.
are amazing.
Thumbnail. There you
Yeah.
go. Thumbnail.
Thumbnails are amazing.
Can I add clip art genius to my email
can.
signature?
I suggest
You
you do.
can,
We'll get you a
absolutely.
new business card.
Yeah, we're going to add all kinds of stuff to it, Jonah. It's going to be good. All right. Well, Kathy, thank you for coming in today, talking about social media as a tool. I think you and I are I'm going to have more conversation next week at Fire Rescue International in San Antonio. I'm on the program planning committee, and one of the things I brought up last time I was there was talking about the use of social media and even podcast platforms to get information out. And I think the class Jonah and I did down at the Arizona Fire Chiefs Leadership Conference went well.
It was awesome.
I want to see if the program planning committee still thinks that it would be valuable for someone to submit a presentation regarding the use of social media by the fire service to get our message out. And you're seeing more of it. And battalion chiefs,
absolutely.
just so you know, I helped Sedona recently with a process. What I found out over there is that they're requiring their battalion chiefs to provide content. So if we don't get it voluntarily, it's going to come out in another form. So, and we're going to have the AD come out directly from Kathy. Is what we're going to do.
Oh my gosh.
Administrative directive from Kathy.
They kind of like me right now. What are you doing?
I don't know. I always send the ADs out. Somebody else should. All right. With that, thank you for watching this week. Kathy, thank you. Jonah, as always, thank you for being here and participating. For all of you out there, thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.